Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope all of you are having an amazing week so far. Students, this is an IELTS speaking class and we will be speaking through Zoom. The IELTS speaking section is a 12 to 15 minute interview. It consists of 3 parts. Part 1, questions to get to know you and some questions on a general topic. Today those questions will be on colors. And then part 2 is a cue card. You get 4 or 5 questions on a topic. In this case, it's about an important place in your city. And then you have 1 minute to read those questions, think about your answers, and 1 to 2 minutes to speak. Part 3 is connected to that topic. Welcome Phuong. Hi Reem, Ariadna, Pluto, Mal, Jeffrey. Nice to see you. Nice to see many students in the class. Everybody, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Visit us there. For the general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. These are our websites. They contain all of our materials, practice exams, and we use them all the time for these classes. This is our academic IELTS website here with the blue background. You can click that big red button off to my right there to join the premium version of the course. It is a one-time payment for lifetime access. When you click that, you can enter the code DISH9 for an extra 10% discount. Same thing with general IELTS. It's gieltshelp.com. Click the big red button. It is a one-time payment for lifetime access. Once you do that, you will have a My Student account. And in your My Student account, you will find your computer-based practice exams, your full online course, your exam book study plans, and lesson videos. You have over 100 speaking lesson video interviews to help you master the speaking section that we are going to work on in just a moment. Premium students, I have sent you your links. You get 2 extra classes each week. That's specific to premium students. Your upcoming classes are tomorrow and the day after. It's going to be a task 2 writing class followed by a speaking class on Friday. The apps are Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. The apps will link to the websites. Hi Parsto, nice to have you in the class. Hi Mal, great to have everybody with me. Students, for speaking, always check out the speaking videos that are available for you on YouTube. We released this one. This is where that discount code is coming from, DISH9. There you go. That's the link to that video. Okay. All right, everybody, let's do this. So let's get into some speaking. So again, you are in your IELTS exam. The first and best tip that I can give you is show up to your exam early. And find other candidates to practice with. Don't be shy. This will help boost your confidence and get your mind in English. Okay? So it's very important to do that. Now, 20 minutes before your exam, the examiner will say, or the exam center will ask you to register. They will take your picture. They will ask you to leave your wallet and all your other possessions that are in your pockets, except for your pencil, pen, paper, or no, you don't get paper. You get paper in the exam. Bottle of water. Make sure you take water with you. And that's what you take into the exam room. Okay, and this is a good tip. Bring water with you. No labels. You can't have labels on your water bottle. Okay, so bring water with you. It is a good way to take a moment collect yourself and hydrate. I am always amazed at how many candidates go into the IELTS exam. They get super nervous. They get what's called cotton mouth. Cotton mouth is when your mouth goes really dry when you're nervous. Okay, it's one word. And then they don't have water, or they don't drink their water, and they're just going, my name is, and you're like, drink some water. The examiners are not allowed to give you instructions. They can't tell you to speak slower. They can't tell you to drink water. They can't tell you to repeat your answer. They can't tell you to pay attention to examples. They can't give you any kind of instructions like that, okay? So make sure that you pay attention to these. It is up to you. This is not an English as a second language class. That is not an ESL teacher. They are not really there to help you. They're just there to test you, okay? All right, so having said that, I'm going to have a little water here. Actually, that was tea. Fatima says, I can't step out of my home without water. Good, Fatima, that's a good habit. Lots of hydration. So then your examiner says, welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. We are conducting this exam in New York. The time right now is 14 o'clock. This is exam center 7R927. Candidate number 4421717 and examiner number 99884. Let's begin. May I see your identification? Now, right away, students, full sentences. Make sure you repeat, okay? So full sentence answers. Okay, this is a speaking class, everybody, so I would really like for you to speak and repeat. Copy what I say, copy how I say it, okay? Copy my words, copy my intonation, okay? It's a great way to do it. All right. Sundar Kanal says, gladly, here's my passport that I have recently used for registration. Please have a look at it. Perfect, Sundar. Nice and fluent, clear, polite, professional. That's a band 9 start. And even though they're technically not marking you just yet, they are unofficially measuring your ability. Sundar, there are no spaces before commas. That is a mistake in writing. Okay, be careful about that. All right, so Sundar says, gladly, here is my passport that I have recently used for registration. Please have a look at it. Sundar, it looks like your speaking's quite good, but be careful about your writing. You're using unnecessary commas. You're leaving spaces before the commas. You had an extra of in there, so just be careful, okay? Single and Savvy says, yes, certainly. This is the passport I registered with for this exam. Oh, yeah, I see what you did there. Okay, one more time, Single and Savvy. Yes, certainly, this is the passport I registered for this exam with. Please have a look. Yeah, it's good. You can use the with in both places. It's in speaking, it's okay. In writing, it would be better to put it after registered. All right, that's good. And then the examiner will ask you, what is your full name? So these are, especially in the face-to-face exam, they're the first two questions. may I see your passport, and what is your full name? In the computer-based exam, you're already registered in when you log on, so they don't ask you for your passport, but they ask you for your name. So, what is your full name? And again, this is a professional situation. Don't start by saying, yeah, sure, for the passport and saying, my name's John Smith for this question. It's not going to really set the right context or set the right atmosphere for the context. So you have to be fluent. You have to speak in full sentences. You have to give professional, clear answers. Yes, you can use slang. Yes, you can say gonna, wanna, instead of going to or want to, but it has to be professional at the same time. You can do both. In modern English, we combine both. Okay? All right. So Parsto, the yes, here you go. Not really enough for that one. Okay? It's not setting the right kind of tone. That's what the right word is, the right tone for it. So Phuong to this question says, my given names are Phuong Khan and my family names are Ho Nguyen. Please refer to me as Phuong. Phuong, that's lovely. So you have two given names and two family names, and that is absolutely a very clear way to introduce yourself. In fact, Phuong, I don't know if you've ever introduced yourself that clearly to me. So that is the most professional way, Phuong, for you to introduce yourself. Now I clearly understand that these two are your given names and these two are your family names. Okay? So again, Phuong says, my given names are Phuong Khan and my family names are Ho Nguyen. Please refer to me as Phuong. Very good, Phuong. That's exactly how you should introduce yourself to a stranger, especially from another culture that doesn't understand that in Vietnam, many people will often have two family names. Okay. All right. Dunyar Beck says, my full name is Nazirov Dunyar Beck, but you can call me Dunyar for short. We don't say shortly. Okay, that's awkward. So, and we usually don't give permission. There's no space before a comma, just after. And instead of but you can call, okay, it's please call me. You request the examiner. You don't give the examiner permission. It's a bit awkward. Okay. All right. That's the better way. So my full name is Nazirov Dunyar Beck. Please call me Dunyar for short. Okay. All right. Next question. Where do you live? For this, give a nice full sentence answer. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment on the 30th floor of a skyscraper in Manhattan, New York, on the east coast of the US. As many of you know, that's not true. I'm just making it up to change it up. I live on the west coast in Canada. But anyway, that's the idea. So small, 2-bedroom apartment, 30th floor, quantified numbers, skyscraper in Manhattan, very visual, New York on the east coast of the US. So again, I live in a 2-bedroom apartment on the 30th floor of a skyscraper in Manhattan, New York, on the east coast of the US. Okay, so small to big, right? Hellraiser says, I'm Rabin Ariel. You can call me Rabin just like my friends do. It's a little bit colloquial, and it's a little bit awkward to say that to a stranger, to an examiner. I know some people teach that. I don't think it's all that natural. I would never actually say that to an examiner naturally. I would never say, you can call me A, as my friends do. It's kind of like, but you're not my friend. You're an examiner. Why? We didn't just become friends. We just met. Right? And so try to be natural, students. It's very important. Okay? Ugulhan says, I live in a 4-bedroom house with my family in Nurafshan, which is the northern part of Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan. Okay, so a little bit more clarity there, but pretty close, Ugulhan. Pretty close. Okay. And then we go to part 1. Okay, so part 1 starts like this. Let's talk about colors. All right. Okay, so let's start with the first one. What is your favorite color? Okay, now as soon as you hear a question like this, you should remember answer plus explanation plus example. That's your path to clear communication, everybody. You should always think answer, explanation, example. For those of you joining, again, this lesson is powered by our website, aehelp.com. For these kinds of explanations and answers and clarity for the speaking section, click here, join our premium package. We're an IELTS test registration center, a British Council partner, IDP affiliate. I'm a British Council agent. We help thousands of students every single day. And in your package, in your lesson videos, you have 200 speaking video lessons that give you examples and describe all of these different steps to getting these higher scores. So you definitely want to join and use the package every single day. All right. So give these answers, explanations, and examples. Anshijat Wadwa says, my favorite color is blue. I find it very calming and serene, much like the sky or the ocean. It has a soothing effect on me, which is why I tend to gravitate toward it. My clothing choices and decor are blue. In fact, I am wearing my favorite blue shirt right now. Okay. Oh yeah, I am wearing one of my favorite blue shirts. I was like, am I am I wearing my favorite blue shirt? And then I looked at the camera, I looked at myself, and I'm like, I am. It's one of my favorite blue checkered shirts. Those examples are really good. Okay. Anshajat, that's an awesome answer. Just showing you kind of this example here. It's nice to throw those in. Notice that I don't say for example or such. I just say in fact. In fact, right? I like your use of language here. So I tend to gravitate toward it. Means I'm drawn to it. It's very good. Okay. All right, everybody. You know what? Let's continue by actually speaking to each other. I'm going to give you a Zoom link and start a Zoom session. Here's the Zoom link. I'll put that in the chat a couple of times. You can join this Zoom link. I'm actually going to click into the chat to join this. Why not? And then you can join. I'll let you in. Please mute your microphone until I ask you to unmute. And then you can volunteer. I like the color blue as well. You can see the painting behind me is all blue. Okay. I can't use my camera in Zoom, everybody, obviously, but you can. Up to you. Just make sure that you're aware that you're using it. Okay. If you don't have Zoom, it's quick and easy to install. It is one of maybe the most popular conference and communication app in the world. So you will use it eventually for business or work or some other purpose. So it's good to get Zoom. Okay, so again, Zoom, it's in the chat. We already have 3 people, Abraham, William, Rajendra. Students, you can volunteer with your gestures, reactions, raise your hand. That hand comes up. You see that hand that's right beside my head there? Boom. When you raise your hand, I know that you are ready to try the speaking section. I will ask you some questions, give you a little bit of feedback, and then we can move forward to part 2 and part 3. Okay, I'm letting everybody in. Abraham, William, Rajendra, Gurkarat, Oz, Mind, Tech. What a name. And then just volunteer. If you want to speak, raise your hand. And then if you change your mind, hopefully not, you can lower your hand. And then you don't have to speak. Fwang, nice to see you joining in. Mal as well. Good. Abraham, I'll get you to unmute yourself and I'll put on my headphones so I can hear you.
Hi, sir. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, Abraham?
I am great, sir. Thank you for asking me, sir.
Nice. And Abraham, can you just, I know much about you, but can you tell everybody where you are in the world and why you are doing the IELTS exam or why you're learning for the IELTS exam?
Okay, hi guys. My name is Abraham Albanyu Krishna Putro, but people can usually call me Abraham. I am from South Sumatra province and I live in the Palembang city. And I study English for IELTS test next year for scholarship examinations from my company. So for this IELTS, I will aim to get the 6.5 band scores in IELTS to pass the selection.
Abraham, that was a lovely introduction. I'm just going to mute everybody. That will also mute you, and then just unmute yourself again, okay?
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay, just a sec. Okay. Go ahead, Abraham. Just unmute yourself again. Perfect.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's just to get less disturbance in the force. Abraham, that was a really good introduction. I love how, that's what you do in IELTS, right? You give details, clarity. When you're finished, you stop. So by the way, everybody, Abraham has been working really hard. He's got a good idea of what we're doing here. It's not a friendly chit chat, right, Abraham? It's not like I'm hanging out with my friend. It's a professional conversation, and you pay attention to those details. That was really good. So it's very clear that you're in South Sumatra. The reason you're doing IELTS is to be eligible for some scholarships in your company that obviously will be to your career benefit. And of course, at the end of the day, IELTS is just good to have. So that was really nice, really nice. Okay, Abraham, are you ready for some questions?
Yes, I'm ready, sir.
Let's do it.
Yes,
so let's talk about colors. What is your favorite color?
I like the blue color, like ocean, because blue is color of my favorite football club. Moreover, this color reflects calm, deep, and quiet like ocean, which I think may be useful to be calm during the IELTS exam day.
Are there any colors that you don't like?
One color that I don't really like is gray color, because this color is neither black nor white, which is like more ambiguous. So when I go to shopping mall, I always avoid to buy clothes or shoes which has a color gray.
Has your preference in colors changed over time?
Yes, I think it has changed profoundly. I used to like yellow when I was a child and choose yellow every time to buy some souvenirs. But no, I'm not anymore since I became a great fan of one of Premier League football club, and I have decorated also my room with a blue as same color of the football club.
What is this football club?
Chelsea FC, sir. It is a one of English premier's football clubs in England, and then it is played in Premier League divisions, and the name is Chelsea Football Club.
If you could, if you bought a new car, what color would you choose?
I will probably choose black as a common color that easy to find in my country. People uh, always use black rather than white because some car showroom will add additional costs when someone requires white paint for their cars, and I don't know why, but however, blacks is usually favorite uh, people color to choose when they buy car either credits or cash.
Okay, let's stop there. I'll give you some feedback. Abraham, that's good. You've been practicing it. I love your pacing. So, students, one really good point to pay attention to here with Abraham is his pacing. So, notice how Abraham is not speaking super fast. He is what's called methodical speaker. So, he's thinking and then speaking and really kind of making sure he's paying attention to what he is saying. And that's so important. So many students have this bad idea that you need to go into the IELTS exam and go, I like the color blue. Blue is awesome. Blue is my favorite color. Favorite color is blue. I love blue. I love blue. Blue is awesome. And it's like, whoa, 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 what's going on? And they're like, right? And they're like, I'm trying to be fluent. And you're like, yeah, but that's just crazy. Fast speech often gets candidates into trouble, and it makes for really awkward language. So no, it's much more important to be, you can be slow and still be fluent, okay, everyone? Yeah. So you don't have to speak fast.
I try to speak slowly to make my answer more professional, sir. So I think speak slow and smooth will become my mind and answer the questions correctly.
Absolutely. 100%. And you can give answers like this. Yes, I think it has changed profoundly. That was a great start. I asked you in present perfect. You answered in present perfect. I used to like yellow as a child and buy souvenirs that were yellow. Since then, I have become a fan of a football league. Make sure you explain clearly. If it's Chelsea, a lot of people know Chelsea. I know Chelsea FC. So just say it. I'm a big fan of a football club, Chelsea FC. Their colors are blue. They play in the Premier League, and so I really love the color blue now. So just give that detail. Don't be scared to give that detail. Okay, Abraham?
Okay, sir.
If
Okay,
I mean, if your examiner likes Manchester United, you might be in trouble. But no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He's not gonna judge you. I'm kidding. Still say it. It's okay. It's okay. You'll be fine.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Keep reminded, sir. Thank you, sir, for your feedback, sir.
Thank you, Abraham. And by the way, your score would be at least I would say a band 7 for that. Okay, it was good English.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Abraham.
Have a nice weekend, sir.
You too, Abraham. Thank you. All right, everybody, let's give Abraham a thumbs up. That was really, really good. Now, we're going to move on to part 2. So before I pick my next volunteer, this time what I'm going to do is actually give you a couple of minutes to look at this, all right? And think about your answers, okay? I will pop back in once you've read this. So read these questions, think about your answers, and then I'm going to pick some volunteers. Take some notes. I'm going to start your 1-minute preparation time now. Okay. And we're going to move on to part 2. Okay, everybody make sure you recognize that you're talking about a place. And remember, when you talk about a place, you need to talk about the location, the appearance, the people who go there, the activities. Okay, I'll give you a little bit more time. In the meantime, I will let your classmates in while you're still thinking. Okay, and I'm going to just mute everybody, and then I'll take volunteers. Okay. Okay, I'll give you a little bit more time just to make sure that you're good to go. Okay. I'm also looking at some of what you're writing here in the chat. All right, let's do this. So, hope that was enough time to prepare. And then notice how this time I did a little bit differently. Okay. I'll take some volunteers. So let's take William.
Hello, Mr.
Hi, William. How are you?
I'm fine. How about you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. William, can you tell everybody why you're taking the IELTS and where you're living right now?
I'm from Indonesia. I'm from the capital city of Indonesia, and I'm taking IELTS to pursue my career as a student to go to the United States for my undergraduate degree.
Nice. That was slow, methodical speaking, and believe it or not, everybody, that's still fluent. All right. I'm serious. I mean, even when you take pauses like that, as long as it makes sense, and it's not about the speed, everybody. It's about the continuity of the thought. I was still able to track your thoughts, and it was great. All right, William, thanks for that. Let's do this part two. So you had a bit of time to prepare, so I'm just going to start you off. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Then your 1 minute preparation time is up. Talk about an important place in your city. Your speaking time begins now.
The place that I'm going to talk about is called Monash. It has a square bottom. As it goes up, it becomes smaller and smaller. But when it reaches the top, there's a platform with an antenna that is made out of gold. This place is located at the heart of Jakarta, near the main train station in Jakarta called Gambir, and there's a lot of activity that we can do there. For instance, we can visit the museum, or people usually do protest there. Activists usually hang out there to tell the government what to do or what they want to see and their community, and then there's a lot of people that go there for looking at the museum. I mean, there's a lot of people that who go there from everyone that lives on the city or even foreigner that are visiting Jakarta. At that place, we can see the history of the independence of Indonesia from who are the people who who uh who did the proclamation of independency in Indonesia, and from the people
Okay,
who
your
fight
time
at
is up.
certain.
I'm going to stop you there, and we will now continue with part 3. Okay, before I do that, so William, first of all, great pick. I loved your choice. Okay, so that was really good. Students, when you're in part 2, you want to think about like 2 or 3 different answers and then pick one. And I'm not sure if you did that, William, but Monas was a good pick in the heart of Jakarta, right? It's iconic. I can visualize it. It was very good, and you started really good. So you said the place I'm going to talk about is Monas. Instead of saying the place I'm going to talk about, okay, so instead of that, there's just a better way to start, and this is for everyone. So instead of saying it that way, use the question. So use this this topic sentence to talk about an important place in your city. Just really like reflect that exact topic sentence. So say a very important place. Okay, a very important place in Indonesia is Monas. Okay, so just be more direct. Are you following me, William?
Yes,
Yeah. And then that way the examiner's like, okay, you got the topic, you know what you're really supposed to talk about. And then you can keep going back to this important place. The reason this is so important, the reason why people are always thinking about Monas when they travel to Jakarta or travel to Indonesia is because so many postcards, so many movies have this iconic landmark mentioned. Right? So you said it has a square button, and as it goes up, it gets smaller and smaller. It's not smaller and smaller. I liked it. I got what you. I got it. I got what you said. It's not smaller and smaller. What is it, everybody? How should we say that? I'm not sure if my chat got disconnected there or what, but I'm not really seeing people's chats. Let me see if something, I don't know if something happened there, but it shouldn't be smaller and smaller. Oh, there we go. There we go. So Max is saying thinner, or Fong is saying tiny. It's neither of those. William, what do you think it is? It's not shrinking. It's definitely not shrinking.
I don't have any idea.
It starts with an N, William. There's another
N?
word. Yeah, N. Yeah, there we go, Max. Very
Narrow.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
narrower. Narrower and narrower. Yeah, a building gets narrow as it gets closer to the top, like when it's a very, very high building. Okay, it gets narrower and narrower.
Yeah.
Monas just you got to mention this part when you talk about Monas. You have to just say, and at the top is a golden antenna. It just glistens in the sun. Can you repeat that sentence after me? Everybody repeat after me. It just glistens in the sun.
It just glistens in the sun.
It means it like sparkles and shines. It's really quite beautiful. I've seen pictures of it. It's quite incredible. It's located in the heart of Jakarta. And then you kind of, so here's a big tip, William. This is a really quick way to improve your part 2. Okay. And this is for everybody. When you say a sentence, you have to explain it. I don't live in Indonesia. I don't watch the news. I'm sorry, but it's true. I don't watch the news around Indonesia. I just, it's too far from me. There's too many things going on in the world.
Yeah.
Unless it's something major, but hopefully it's not. I mean, if it is, hopefully it's positive news. But usually I don't see news in Jakarta. So when you say people go and do protest there, protest is a verb, first of all, William. So you can just say people protest there. Repeat after me. People protest there.
People protest there.
Okay. Now, why? Right? So what's the reason for protest? How many people are there? Why there? Why do they go there to protest? What's the reason that they don't, just go somewhere else? Right? So you didn't explain any of that. And if I'm sitting there as your examiner and I don't know this, those are the questions in my head. Like, why are people going to protest there, and why aren't they going to somewhere else? And who are these people? What are they protesting? So all of that's unclear. So you would want to say something like, people protest there. They protest on issues like government and the environment. And the reason they go to Monas is because they hope that the entire world will hear their message. As Monas is a landmark that is recognized around the world. Right? Correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be your full sentence. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. So let's try this. Try to just listen to me, William, everybody, and then try to repeat. So people protest there, and they protest on issues like the government or the environment. The reason they pick Monas is because it is a landmark and it's recognized by the entire world. So they hope that the message will reach far and wide.
People protest there. They protest on issues like government, on the environment, and the reason do they do.
Just think about the content.
Sorry, sir, my
Think-
Wi-Fi is not good.
Think about the content, William.
The
The reason they go there.
the reason they go there is because they hope that the entire world will hear their message, as Monas is a landmark that is recognized around the world. They hope to
That's perfect. That's
get
perfect.
the
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Oh.
You got it. You got it. You got the content. That's it, right? Pay attention to your content. That's your content. That tells me that Monas is a very important place in Indonesia, right? It also houses the history of Indonesia, its fight for independence, the history of its people and its culture in a museum, right? So you're really emphasizing that point. William, that was really good. And I think that you would get a really good mark. I don't think you did your best here. I'll be honest with you. I think you would get, like, for this answer, you would probably get like a band 6.5, but I think your level is more like a 7.5 between good and very good, and you need to show that to me. And the way that you can show that to me, William, is by giving me details. When you give me an idea, explain that idea to me. So what is that protest that's happening there? What is that museum that's there in more detail? You started to get into that later. You're like, oh, it's, yeah, of course, it's the history of independence of people of Indonesia and stuff. But you did that later, and it should have come earlier, right? So not a bad start. Just keep going strong, okay? Keep practicing that, right? Thank you, William. I hope I can see Monas one day. Oh, by the way, numbers, before you go, William, just a second, guys. Monas is, if I'm not mistaken, it's huge. Like, it's like high building.
Yeah. Very huge.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think people get that. So some people who are in this lesson, I'm sure they're like, Monas, what is that? They're checking it out. I don't think they really get how high that building is. Do you know how high it is? Roughly?
I don't know.
How many meters?
It's really tall. Maybe
It's really tall. Yeah. What do you think?
Maybe if I were to say, maybe 300-meter.
Yeah, that's what I would guess. I would guess 300 to 400 meters for sure. Yeah. So I would say a very important place in Indonesia is Monas. It has a square bottom, and as it goes up, it gets narrower and narrower. At the top is a golden antenna. It's one of the highest buildings in the world. At between 300 to 400 meters. Yeah, it's huge. Absolutely. So you'd want to say that because that's a wow factor. Examiners love those wow factors. Whoa, yeah, that's a big building. So don't forget those numbers, okay, William?
Yeah, I'll try to remember numbers.
Yeah, numbers. Thank you so much, William. That was great. I appreciate you for volunteering.
Thank you for having me, mister.
Bye, William.
Bye.
All right, give William a thumbs up. That was really good. Class says, whoa, guys, let's not tell a big fish story here. It's 132 meters. Still though, 132 meters. That's a big building. Salma says, "Great job." I agree. Okay. Let's do this. So let's keep going. Let's hear a lady's voice. Phuong, we haven't heard your voice in a while. Let's talk to Phuong. Phuong,
Hi, sir.
how are you, Phuong?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking as well. Phuong, I know you're in Vietnam. I know you're in school. I know you're studying English because you just want to speak to everybody in the world, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. All right. Among many other reasons to study English. Phuong, I'm going to start you off. Are you ready?
Will I speak part two or part three, sir?
Maybe both.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So talk about an important place in your city. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay, an important place in my city, also known as beautiful Vietnamese culture superstition, is the National Pagoda of Vietnam, which is situated in the heart of Ho Chi Minh City, District 10. The National Pagoda of Vietnam was operated in 1975 after the Vietnam War ended successfully, approximately 11,000 square meters are surrounded by greenery and hundreds of colorful confetti trees blooming throughout the years. That's why it attracts countless visitors all year round. Um, this pagoda was extremely suited to all nations, groups of race, family, as well married couples to wait for their loved one. I remember back in Lunar New Year 2024, my cousin and I successfully managed to find a way through the sea of people and got close to the worshipping place of Buddha, where hundreds live worshippers with flowers in their hand were trying to light up all the candle and incense stick, while others kneeling and praying with their eyes closed for happiness and glorious for New Year's. It was such a marvelous dream to get at, actually. In a nutshell, the National Pagoda of Vietnam is such a vital cultural superstition spot in Ho Chi Minh City, as it not only has a positive impact on the society, but also the lives of the local people in the south of Vietnam.
All right, I'm going to stop you there. Your 2 minutes is up. And we'll move on to part 3. Phuong, I have to ask you, are you reading Wikipedia right now?
No, I'm reading my master.
I'm kidding. It sounds like you're reading Wikipedia on the National Pagoda of Vietnam. But that's so for content in English, of course. It's funny, but it's awesome, and I love how you've evolved your English. So Phuong has been a member for quite some time. Phuong, how long have you been a member of our course, our YouTube channel now?
Well, maybe 1 year after, but I'm following you from the 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, amazing, and I mean your English, your vocabulary, and your content. Like it's like you should what you just said. If you can write that down and just send it to Wikipedia, they might change the description for the National Pagoda of Vietnam. That was really good. Like it was just incredible. So clear for me, so visual. You even gave that very good story of how you and your cousin went there and fought your way through the sea of clouds. Crowds. That was so visual. So notice this sentence, everybody, that Phuong said here. We fought. I couldn't keep up with you. You're too fast. We fought our way through the sea of crowds. That's very visual. It literally makes me see Phuong and her cousin kind of pushing their way through all of these people to get to the place at the pagoda where you light incense sticks to make prayer. And it was just so visual. It sounded like you're doing a narration for a movie or a Wikipedia page. Phuong, I honestly think that you have your content is a band 9 for sure. Like your words, your sentences, your grammar, correlative conjunctions. It's no doubt that was an expert answer. What I keep telling you is just keep working on that pronunciation. So just work on the articulation, do pronunciation practice so you get those really clear, crisp sounds. And I know you're improving, and I just want you to keep doing that. And you have great skills. So do what you do. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I hope one day I can visit that national pagoda. It sounds amazing.
Yes, it's one of the most biggest pagoda in Ho Chi Minh City. Also, it is the most important pagoda in Vietnam.
I can imagine. I have seen pictures of it, so I can imagine. All right, Fong, keep up the good work. Do what you do. I mean, it's really going to give you a lot of advantages and lead to a lot of successes in life. What you're putting into your studies. So keep going. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Have
Thank
a
you,
good day,
Fong.
sir.
Bye, Fong. All right.
Bye, sir.
Bye, Fong. Give Fong a big thumbs up. That was amazing. If I ever go to Vietnam, I would love to have Fong as my guide around these beautiful places in Ho Chi Minh City, for sure. All right, let's, Bishal, can you unmute yourself? If you're there, Bishal. Hi, Bishal.
Hello.
How
Hello,
are you?
sir.
How are you, Bishal?
I'm good, sir. And how are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Bishal. Bishal, where are you?
Sir, I'm currently in my home, Kuhabishun, sir, in Nepal.
In Nepal. Okay. And why are you?
Yes, sir. I'm from Nepal.
And why are you studying IELTS?
Yes, sir. I'm studying IELTS to go USA or Australia.
Australia or the US? Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me ask you some part 3 questions. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it. Let's talk about important places. What kinds of places are commonly important in many societies?
In my opinion, temples and historical places are most important because historical. If we like to travel in historical place, then we can gain a knowledge about different past events, and as well as temple also, because we can learn our spiritual knowledge, our cultural norms and value. So it's important.
What do these places have in common that makes them so important?
The things which are made from old age, which were made during the events, past event, were from our ancient. I think it is important for us to gain a knowledge, different type of knowledge about our past.
Why is it important for governments to appoint places as national landmarks?
It's important because it gives the importance about what were happening at that time, and government were collecting the taxes and many more.
How does tourism affect places of importance?
Tourism affect if the tourism will come to our historical place, then they will spend their time and they spend some money also, due to which our per capita income will also increase, and our country will also come in a top country about visiting a tourist.
Okay, those are some tough questions, Bishal. That's part 3. That's how it works. Tough questions. They're really trying to see. So the goal of part 3 is, I mean, most people who take the IELTS exam, Bishal, they're going to be at least around a band 6 usually, 5.56, and then higher, like a band 7, 8, or 9, right? So I saw a really funny comment on one of our videos on YouTube like 2 days ago, where somebody for part 3 question says, those are really hard, they shouldn't ask those questions on IELTS, right? And I kind of had a little laugh. I'm like, well, of course they should. They have to see if a person is an expert user of the English language. That's a band 9, right? So when they're testing for a band 8 or a band 9, they need to ask some challenging questions. So when you're in your IELTS exam, everybody, listening, Bishal?
Yes, sir, I'm listening.
The questions will get harder and harder. So if you're doing a good job, they'll ask you a harder question. If you're still doing a good job, they'll ask you an even harder question. And they keep going because they want to make sure that they're not missing a band 8 or a band 9. So they'll ask you questions that sometimes are really weird. But you just stay calm, and you did exactly right, Bishal. You just answered. You're just like, okay, I'm going to just answer these. One.
So I like to share one thing, sir. Sir, please ask me from part 1 to part 3 whole. Once I want to check my ability, sir. There is no good teacher in Nepal available, so.
Yeah, so there's 2 ways. Just keep volunteering for these classes. The other way, if anybody wants to do like a full speaking with me, then you can do that through our website. And in the website here, we offer that service. It's $25 US, which I know is a lot of money in Nepal. I understand that. But for somebody who can afford it, you can click on this speaking interview practice yellow button on the website, and that gets you a full IELTS speaking interview with feedback, with a recording, and with sample script and a follow-up email. So that's where you can do that, Vishal. Okay, or you can just
thank you.
Yeah, or you can just keep volunteering, Vishal. So a couple things before you go. First of all, you did a really good job using the question. Keep doing that. So you said, in my opinion, temples and historical places are most important in societies. That's really good. Okay, important in many societies. So you use the question. That's really good. Keep doing that. Keep using the question in your answer. And I did a couple of adjustments to your answers. You can always connect to part 2. So Phuong talked about the pagoda in Vietnam. So this was my kind of adjustment. Bishal, I'm going to say this and then just repeat after me, okay?
Okay, sure.
Okay, let me say it first. So in my opinion, temples and historical places are most important in societies because when people travel, they can gain knowledge of past events, culture, and the beliefs of the society, like visiting the National Pagoda in Vietnam.
In my opinion, temples and historical places are most important because it helps us gaining. So I forget
because
in middle.
Because when people travel, they can gain knowledge of past events, culture, and the beliefs.
Yes, because they can get
no. See, the big difference, Bishal, between your answer and my answer is I don't use we and I don't use you. I'm very careful not to say we and you and us. I'm just talking about people. So because when people travel, they can gain knowledge of past events, culture, and beliefs of the society.
Because when people travel, then they can got the knowledge about the place and the societies.
Like visiting the National Pagoda in Vietnam.
Like visiting the national programs in Vietnam.
Pagoda.
Pagoda.
Do you know what a pagoda is?
No, sir. I have listened first so that I'm confused.
Okay. A pagoda is that religious temple in Asia that often has that multi-tiered kind of platform. I'm trying to draw it here without the leg, like that. Okay, so that's kind of what a pagoda looks like. I'm trying to fit it onto the screen here. And they have pagodas in many Asian countries like Vietnam, China, Japan, Mongolia. So it's a type of temple. Okay, I think you have pagodas in I think you might have pagodas in Nepal as well, Vishal. maybe.
No, sir. I haven't seen.
Maybe not.
I haven't seen.
Okay.
No, sir.
Maybe not. I'm not sure. All right. So Bishal, good job. Avoid the we and the us. Okay, and keep using the question in your answers. That was really good.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much for volunteering, Bishal.
Welcome, sir. Thank you for.
Oh, sorry, Bishal. I didn't realize you were still speaking there. But anyway, great job, Bishal. Great job. Thank you so much, everybody. That's all the time I have for today's class. And I know in these live classes, not too many people get a chance to volunteer, only about 3 or 4 usually. But if you would like to have more chances to speak, the best way to do that is to join us at aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com for the premium versions, because when you do that, you get 2 more classes on Zoom, or the whole class is on Zoom from start to finish, and they're even a little bit longer, and they're usually about 20 students, so about, I think, and I know some of you in the class are in the premium. I think everybody who volunteers basically gets a chance usually in those classes. Like 8 to 10 people usually volunteer every class, and they all get chances. So we have a task 2 writing class for premium students tomorrow, and we have a speaking class on Friday. That's another way that you can get a chance, Bishal, to kind of join and go through part 1, 2, and 3. And again, the way you do that is through our website. So aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Okay, so join us by clicking the big red button. Okay, and again, it is a one-time payment for lifetime access. Costs about $40-50 US, and you get tons and tons of materials. Students, thank you for joining me today. We'll have more videos and live streams coming up for you next week, so stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to our premium students being in class tomorrow for task 2. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. Much love to all of you wherever you are in the world today. Bye for now, everyone.